The city is a very special place, a city of immigrants, special place in the world. But what's important is that the history of this city be memorialized, and one of the ways this happens is through historic preservation. I want the people of Los Angeles to know that this was where it happened. This was the Mecca. This is where the Chicano movement emerged from. It's an incredible social, artistic, and cultural contribution to the city, and so it's important for us to preserve our history. Architecture contains the social movements that are part of it.
It's nice to have the area of Concilio de Arte Popular designated as a historical monument. We were the first Latinos, Chicanos, to have a show at LACMA.
These artists have global status. Their work is admired throughout the world. We should preserve the buildings and the art for public appreciation.
Nationally, less than 10% of historic sites and historic landmarks are associated with communities of color, and especially places that were historically significant in the Chicano movement, the Latino movement for civil rights.
Change is constant in life, and so the challenges for governance is how we provide leadership, how we guide that change to have a progressive result, a humanitarian result, an egalitarian result. And the preservation of these buildings, the acknowledgement of the art that was created in these buildings is part of that contribution.
Councilmember Gil Cedillo, he values Chicano history very much, and he recognized how important this is. So letting your elected officials know that this as a community is important to you can really help further the advancement of the preservation of history in your community. Highland Park is one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city of Los Angeles.
There's so much interest in Highland Park these days, you know, and I always sort of knew it as sort of a deteriorating community, and now I guess there's a renaissance. There's a lot of businesses were opening up, and then COVID happened, but it will be a thriving community again.
There's tons and tons of different places that are very significant to the city of Los Angeles and even nationally. We are home to national historic landmarks like the Lummis Home. We're home to the Southwest Museum. We have a lot of beautiful murals here that are also being worked on, being protected and nominated as HCM Historic Cultural Monuments as well. And of course, we have the people and the legacy businesses that have been around for a very long time.
I think it's perfect opportunity for Chicanos to recognize that there is a Chicano art history. We're proud to have been able to start a renaissance, so to speak, for the few years that we were in Highland Park that produced works like this.
You know, there were all these rival Chicano art groups around, like Mexicano and you know, various Chicano arts groups, and we kept saying, you know, we should do something. You know, we should organize. And what we came up with, we wanted something bicultural, bilingual, and I came up with the name Los Four, and it stuck. It all started as a spontaneous phenomena. You know, everyone says, who's first? Judy Baca or the art teacher at East LA College was the very first muralist, but we all did murals in the 60s. We would just go to an owner of a building and say, I like that wall, here's a sketch, can we do a mural? And they said, okay, go ahead. So murals all over East LA.
We're talking about collectives of artists who came together in order to share resources and create art that they could share with the community and with the world, and create a space in a time where their art and their work was not welcome and their opportunities were not equal to others the way they should have been.
Well, let me tell you, we should be, as Angelenos, extraordinarily proud of the work that took place. The work of all these artists are gems of the city of Los Angeles. And they are at the highest standards of excellence. People from the world come. And when they come, they want to see the Chicano artists. They want to see the Chicanada. They want to see these incredible muralists who emulated the great muralists of Mexico from the 20s and the 30s. The Orozcos, the Siqueiros, the Tamayos, the Diego Riveras, the Frida Kahlos, etc., etc.
We're putting out examples of artwork that reflected the barrio or reflected the international struggles from an artistic viewpoint. Not much radical politics, but from trying to bring bridges. We need to have strong institutions for Chicanos to recognize their history along with contemporaries.
Through this type of preservation, this is how the city knows how to go forward. This gives us guidance and direction in going forward.
It was a great period of time for Chicano artists to come together. What's lacking is that we don't have centers anymore. Very few. We need places where we can sit down and have a cup of coffee, drink a little bit of beer, and talk about art. We really, really lack that opportunity.
I've been a big proponent of historic preservation. We saved the Breed Street Shoal in Boyle Heights. We saved the Chinese Museum in Chinatown. We saved St. Viviana's downtown, the historic St. Viviana's. It's played a big role in our lives of our political office, and so we continue to be involved in historic preservation, and we will. The Northeast, the east side of the city are the origins of the city. The first zoning took place on this side of the city. The redlining, the segregation, the development of the city in the Northeast and on the east side are very, very important to understanding the history of the city. And so hopefully we will eradicate all those types of barriers, like those restrictive covenants that were part of the development of the city, like the zoning that has forced too many people who are poor and challenged economically into a type of segregation. I call it apartheid through zoning. And when we look at the maps of this city and we see the development of the city, we see that in part through planning, through design. That's what we have. Keeping in mind the history of the city tells us that, reminds us of that, and then helps us figure out how we go forward. And so it's important for us to preserve our history and not allow us to be erased, as the young people like to say. We will not be erased.